your hands together with a warm round of applause. Let's welcome Pierre White.
Can you just tell us a little bit about your culinary journey, going back to where you started first?
But I came from very humble beginnings. And in those days, you tended to follow your father's footsteps. And my father started his life out in the hotels as a chef in Leeds, in the north of England. My grandfather was a chef in the hotels. My uncle was a chef. So I became a chef. That's where my love affair for food really started. And in Box Street all those years ago, we seasoned with Knorr, not with salt, which is interesting. Because Box Street used Knorr as a seasoning, not as a stock.
Now, on a different note, flavors, they play a very important role in cooking. And I think all the ladies in the audience, even if they're the gents, we all like to cook at home. So if you could give us a little bit of a tip or two on how we can marry some nice flavors and, have some flavors from cooking at home.
Cooking is a philosophy. It's not a science unless it's pastry and then it's chemistry. So it's about philosophy, it's about stories. And if you think of your cuisine, it was given to you by your mother, by your grandmother, by your auntie. Why change things? Because your cuisine in Sri Lanka is sensational. It really is. It's one of the great cuisines of the world. And I've eaten so well in this last 2 weeks. And if I'm going to be brutally honest, and I said it to a journalist this morning, I have never eaten better in any country in the world so consistently. Every meal has been delicious. And I can't say that about America, I can't say it about Italy, I can't say it about Spain, I can't say it about France. Because the consistency of quality of food across the board, whether you're in a village, whether you're with a fisherman, whether you're in a hotel, is fantastic. So why do you want to change anything? You have fantastic cuisine.
What advice would you give someone who gave up their career as maybe an accountant just to be a chef?
But I do say to her, if you have a dream, then you have a duty and a responsibility to yourself to make it come true. And that's the truth. You have a dream, so you now have a duty and a responsibility to make it happen, to realize that dream.
All right, I'd like to say thank you very much for the questions. Let's give Mark a round of applause for coping up with that.
Well, it's a magical experience being on this moving platform with all this sumptuous food with Pierre White, which elevates the experience to another level. I think it was interesting listening to the little tidbits and the little philosophy behind food as well. So it's so much more than just mere consumption, if you like. It's the experience of creating and indulging in food. And I think I'm going to go home with a little bit more than the wine and the excellent canapes, but a little bit about a connection about life and food and how they're both connected. So I think it's quite existentialist in a way.
I think what I liked most what he said was that cooking and cuisine is a philosophy and not a science, and that he was going to come back to learn how to use Sri Lankan spices in his food. He also said that he's been to many countries around the world, but he finds that the consistency that we Sri Lankans have in our cooking makes us the best cuisine in the world. And I thought that was a huge compliment, a very sincere, genuine one coming from someone like him.